Hey, I haven't done one of these in a while. I figured it'd be fun to do another one. It's been I don't know, 3 months since I tried to do one of these. They're connecting there for a minute, and then they kind of stopped. I think that's the way of YouTube. So I'm in my car again. I'm driving, and I'm thinking, because to me, today is a holiday. Today is a huge holiday. This video will not come out on the holiday. I should have recorded it before the holiday, which I didn't. But it is Friday the 13th, my favorite day of the month when it happens. Favorite day of the year. Usually get two of them if we're lucky. And that's because I'm a big Jason fan. At all times, I have something Jason on me. Either my, Jason t-shirt, or I've got Jason pants. I've got Jason plaid shirt, which I'm wearing right now. You can't really see it under my jacket, which is also a Jason jacket. Underneath the Jason jacket and the Jason plaid is one of those Jason t-shirts. I got a little bracelet here that says Jason Kills. You can't really see it, but that's okay. I'm on a red light. What I'm here to say is I love Jason. Jason Voorhees. Not you, Jason. Whichever one you are. I mean, you're cool. I'm sure. Maybe you suck. I don't know. But I like Jason Voorhees. He is my jam, man. He has been my jam for a very, very long time. I got into horror. If you've listened to my podcast, I've talked about this before. But I got into horror back in the 90s. I'm old. Sorry, I had to honk at the person in front of me because they're just blocking traffic for fun, it looks like. I don't get what's going on here. Anyhow, so I got back into slashers back in the 90s, about 97 and 96, 95? Whenever Scream came out. Scream is what did it for me. Sorry, had to drive by that person who was just blocking traffic for no good reason. Scream was one of those movies that was like a cultural moment. Like, you had to see Scream. If you were alive, you had to see it. Slashers are back, man. We got a mask, we got a knife, we got teenagers, we got babysitters, we got people getting stabbed. Everyone's excited. This is so cool. And to me, it was terrifying. There was something so real about Scream. And I know now, looking back on it, that it was a very heightened reality. Like, it was not actually real. But, every horror movie that I had seen, which I have not a lot. I was a huge wuss. I did not like horror movies at all. But Scream had this, it spoke to the modern age, to sound like an idiot. It felt real. It felt new. It felt like of the 90s. And, now I'm watching, people I recognize, Drew Barrymore. From E.T. She got fucking murdered in the beginning of that movie, and brutally murdered, stabbed a whole bunch of times, stabbed in the neck so she can't talk, pleading for her parents to see her while the dude just tackles her. He's like, oh, that's it. She pulls the mask off. We don't see who it is yet because apparently that was a big deal. And her mom sees her hanging from a tree, gutted, brutal. It's I mean, obviously I don't know her, but I knew who she was, and that was oh god. When I looked at other horror movies, I never really recognized the people because horror movies now is a little different. But back in the day, it was if you're in horror movies, you're not really in other movies. You kind of did only the horror stuff. Some people broke out of it. Jamie Lee Curtis, Johnny Depp, Kevin Bacon. Some of them all eventually broke out and did bigger things, but they still looked different when they were teenagers, getting the one job they could get, which was some fucking slasher movie where they had to get naked and get stabbed. They grew up, they matured, they didn't look like teenagers anymore. Whereas Drew Barrymore, I've known at least vaguely idea of who she was my entire life because E.T. So I knew young Drew Barrymore, I knew middle-aged Drew Barrymore, I knew that Drew Barrymore, and then seeing her get murdered, I was messed up for a long time. So there's the backstory. Fast forward a few years, and I've decided that I'm going to get into horror. I'm not going to let this thing be that thing around my neck that it just drags me down. I'm going to like horror movies. And I started with Halloween. Loved Halloween. Halloween was okay, I can do this. I'm getting the vibe. This is cool. Moved on to like The Exorcist, because I'm like, all right, if I can do Halloween, it's just the scariest slasher movie, let's watch the scariest horror movie I'd ever heard of, which was The Exorcist. Exorcist was a little bit more difficult for me to get through, but I did it. And then, for no particularly good reason, I decided I liked Jason. I liked the hockey mask. I liked the iconography. I was a fan of machetes, I guess, even though the whole machete thing, that's a sticking point for me. He's not a machete guy. Like, I know he uses the machete more often than not, but he's more of a MacGyver of murder. Like, he uses whatever he has around him to kill you. If it's a machete, you're going to get macheted. If it's not a machete, you might get weed whackered or, party favored. Both real things, if you have not watched all the movies, which you should. So when I talk about Jason and I talk about Michael Myers and all those other things, there is this this attitude that I've always felt Jason has that Michael doesn't. And Michael Myers is classical music, if you will, and Jason is punk rock. He doesn't really abide by any rules other than Jason wins. He doesn't really care if his movie's too good. Watch any of them. What he's there for is to look cool and kill camp counselors and or any other person who happens to be in his general vicinity. And that's really it. And I don't know why I decided that was the thing that I was going to be a fan of, but I decided it randomly. Like, that's it. I liked it. I'm going to watch it. And I don't remember which movie I started with. I know it wasn't, I mean, obviously I think I started with the first one, but I mean, like, which Jason movie I started with. I know it wasn't 2. I came back to 2 later. I want to say it was like 8. Like, Jason Takes Manhattan, or it might have been even 9. Jason Goes to Hell. Like, it was something random. I'm like, I just like all Jason movies. I've just decided this thing out of the ether. And I just picked a random one and I watched it and I'm like, okay, I really do like this movie. And I don't know what it is about it. I don't know. Like, I've had many people ask, why is Jason your favorite? Why in particular is, New Blood your favorite one, which is part 7, Jason versus Carrie. And, I've had many reasons for this. I've had many podcasts on this about why I like all these things. But when I just put it down to it, I think it just comes from that deep internal, gut feeling of that's my guy. There is something just inherently cool about this hockey mask, sometimes machete, sometimes other things, wielding psychopath who's just waiting for you to go camping nearby. He's not particularly malicious. He's not hunting you unless you killed his mom. Then he'll hunt you down and get you the nice pick right in the temple. But assuming you didn't do that, he has no interest in murdering you. It's not something that he's like seeking to do. But once you get on his property or you get within his eyesight, well, then things change. Then he's like, no, I don't like that person's alive. And that's really his only thing, is that he doesn't like that you're alive. End of story. And he's going to go fix that problem. And that to me is way scarier than, I don't like that I have a sister and I'm going to kill everyone who's ever met that sister. It has that motivation. Pamela Voorhees had motivation. These camp counselors let my son die because they were too busy banging and getting high than to watch, my challenged son go for a swim, who then drowned. And fuck all these people. Stabby, stabby, slicey, slicey. Arrow through the back of the neck, arrow through the head, axe to the face, and so on. That makes sense. And then Jason in part 2, there's some motivation. People showed up to my camp. They killed my mom. I'm going to kill them. And he goes a little nuts. And then the Jason 2, 3, 4 all take place pretty close to each other, if I remember correctly. I know 3 and 4 do. Maybe I could be wrong about 2. No. 2 takes place right there at the same time because he gets his mask in 3. It's just one blood-soaked weekend of just pure murder mayhem. And, we have our 3D break for part 3. It's a little ridiculous, but it's fun. And then we have, part 4, which was supposed to be the final chapter. That's what my shirt is right now. And they really meant this is the final chapter. They call in Tom Savini. Tom Savini, go nuts, make this thing the goriest, most ridiculous thing ever. Call in Crispin Glover to do a dance. I don't think that was, part of the horror, but it's in the movie. So we still get to enjoy it. It's just insane, crazy weekend of murder. People going camping and getting murdered. And then Tommy Jarvis shows up. Tommy Jarvis, he can fight Jason, because, masks, I guess, they agree eye to eye that masks are cool for some reason. I agree. But Tommy can figure Jason out somehow. I don't really understand how. I've watched that movie a bunch of times, but you take some leaps with it. That's okay. And you have a good time. And that's kind of what Jason, at least the first 4 are. They're a good time. As long as you're okay watching, countless folk get murdered. And then the series just goes nuts, man. Like, then you get 5, which is not Jason. It's this guy, Roy. And you listen to our podcast when we did this on Binge Buddies. Go back and check that one out, because, man, we have a good time making fun of Roy. Roy, he is just so clearly like the bad guy. Like, it is so clear he's the killer in the movie. It's kind of ridiculous. And then you get this other like side story of like, is this passing the torch? Is Tommy Jarvis going insane? Is he going to be the one to kill Jason? Is he becoming Jason? He's going to wear his own mask and be the next Jason? And then movie 6 goes, nope, that was dumb. We're not doing that. And then 6 is one of the best movies out there. Jason Lives, man, that's a good movie. It's where we get Zombie Jason, which, if you go on the subreddit, you're going to see a lot of people go back and forth on whether or not there's any merit to Zombie Jason. I think there is. I really like Zombie Jason. I think it takes that scary, non-motivated, you're in my way, so therefore you have to die killer, and takes it to that next level of now there's no human in it. In Jason 2, he's able to be reasoned with a little bit. More so fooled. Like Ginny puts on the sweater, the mom's sweater, and is like, Jason, quit being a dick. And he's like, what? Huh? Hold up. I saw you get your head chopped off. How are you? And like, he's actually confused, and you can see that humanity in him trying to figure out what's going on. Zombie Jason, he's not falling for that shit. You put on his mom's sweater, he's like, ugh. Look, it's red now. Like, there is something just so kind of terrifying about that. Like, once Jason's locked onto you, man, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. And I don't know. There's something kind of true in that, isn't there? Like, I'm thinking about it way too much, but like, Jason is death. Death, it comes for all of us. I'm driving in my car while talking to my phone. It could be coming to me very soon. I hope not. No, that seems fine. But death is out there. It's always coming. It's unfeeling. It's unflinching. You can't reason with it. I've tried. You can't get your way. When death says it's got you, it's got you. And that's Jason. Jason is death, and there is no escaping it. Yeah, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. You can keep waving at me. I'm still letting you go. People. But there's just something, I don't know. Lost my train of thought with that weirdo just driving in front of me. There is something that I've always enjoyed about a good horror film. Be it and one of the newer ones. I just saw 28 Years Later, Boneyard. I saw Send Help, Sam Raimi movie. That was a pretty decent. I liked it. I wanted to love it. I didn't get quite to loving it. I have my reasons. I'll save it for a different one. But there isn't a single Jason movie that I would be like, nah, I don't want to watch that. I might have favorites. I might have ones I want to watch instead. But by and large, if Jason's in that movie, yeah, we'll check that one out. All right, so this has been my rambling, nonsensical Jason Love Fest driving in the car. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you went and watched a Friday the 13th movie this past Friday the 13th when I recorded this. I know I did. I watched Jason Lives earlier today, and it was awesome. It always is. I hope you're checking out Binge Buddies. We've got a new series right now, the Just Us League, or Hall of Just Us. Like Hall of Just Us. I don't know. I named this thing. I should remember the names. But either way, it's the Just Us is the joke. You get it. We've done the first 2 as of where I'm sitting right now, but we're recording 2 more on this upcoming Sunday of Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad, the greatly whiff of a movie. There's really good stuff in there. Movie's not too great. And then Wonder Woman, which is great, except for the third act, which is also kind of. But that movie gets a lot more love than I think it deserves, and I think Suicide Squad has a lot more hate than it deserves. So we're going to talk about all that. It's gonna be fun. We had a great time talking Man of Steel. We had a great time talking Batman vs Superman, which I know a lot of you hate, and I get it. I understand your hate. I disagree with your hate, but I understand your hate. I think there's just too much shit out there to hate right now. So let's let movies get a pass. These movies are trying to entertain us and not, ruin our country. Stay out of politics. Yeah. I think I'm out of gas. I think I've got everything I've got to say in this. I think it's done. Go watch more Jason movies because they're fucking awesome. And you be fucking awesome too. Bye.